Hello everybody and welcome. If we've not met before, my name is Rachel and just welcome to the video. Today I was checking in on one of my friends and asking her how she felt, and she said, I just feel empty right now. And I sat down and I did a meditation like about an hour ago, and I was feeling back into one of the periods in my life where was feeling so empty, like depleted, and just in the midst of the most darkness I've ever been in. And this transition for me was right when I was going from high school to college. This was a really difficult time for me because I felt like I was in the wrong place already when I was in high school. But when I got into college and the question was, what do you want your major to be? That was like a real serious question that I was just like not ready to like stick myself in a box and stay in forever. Like it was very restricting, and I had a difficult time with just feeling like I was in the wrong place, in the wrong space. So this empty feeling, like I would feel this empty feeling often, very often. And especially I would feel it at certain times in the day, like during the 3 p.m. afternoon to like 6 p.m. I would try to escape this feeling of emptiness. Like I would take like a nap that would last like 3 to 4 hours at times. And my friends at the time, like they would joke and say like, oh, this, Rachel's probably taking a nap, or Rachel and Robin, my sister's Robin, twin, and they're probably sleeping. And I look back now and I call those periods of time and those naps like depression naps. I didn't know what to do with myself during those time periods because I felt so low and out of energy and just depleted. And years went by, like I had finally graduated college miraculously. And I finally went to go see like a psychiatrist, and I just told her like I would get to the point of the day around that 3 p.m. And I was always a fighter. I was always in the gym because I knew exercise was good for me. I was not knowledgeable about food and nutrition at the time, so I was just doing the best that I could. Like I thought Nutella was a health food. Oh, poor Rachel. Younger Rachel. Now we're doing good, but you know, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just wandering in the dark. And so the psychiatrist told me, you're probably running out of serotonin in the afternoon. And I was like, okay, well, it makes sense because I feel the way that I feel. And, something biochemically must be happening to explain this phenomenon. So, I went on an SSRI medication, and it didn't help very much. Like, I think maybe it helped slightly for a short period of time. And then came a point in time where I think COVID had hit, and they wanted me to like go into the office and re-meet the psychiatrist that had given me the prescription medicines. And the last time I had gone in to visit with her, I went twice. The first time I broke down and just cried the whole time. And the second time I had questions. I had questions about where serotonin came from. And I remember being like in the waiting room or whatever, about to go into the office, and I just Googled like serotonin biochemistry. And like from this simple Google search, I found the amino acids again, which is something that we all learn in school, but it came up again as tryptophan. So tryptophan builds serotonin in the body, and then it would build melatonin in the body. So I remember like in that second meeting with her, I was trying to ask about tryptophan and exercise, and ask like, if I do happen to eat more tryptophan, wouldn't that mean that that would have more available serotonin in my system? And I felt like at the time, like my questions weren't really wanted. Like she was like, yeah, it could help, but some people just have chemical imbalances. And I remember her saying this, some people just have chemical imbalances. And it did not sit right with me. Like I, in my heart and my intuition was just no, no, no. This isn't right. There's something more here. And so I still was taking the medication that was on the serotonin because I was kind of afraid to come off of it. And I made an experiment for myself. And I said, okay, well, we are going to start studying which foods have more tryptophan in them. And we're going to start consuming these, especially in the morning. Because, tryptophan breaks down to serotonin, serotonin breaks down to melatonin. So I was starting to see like where the circadian rhythm was actually built into our nutrition and into the exercise that I was doing. And I was like, I think I can do this. And so, yeah, that COVID time period came around, and they wanted me to like get on like a Skype call or go into the office. I can't even remember, but it was too much at that point in time. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take this leap of faith. And I had started doing my amino and fatty acids in the morning. So I was starting to hit a stride within myself. I was starting to get into the sunlight more. And I was able to take the leap and come off the medication and not look back. And, it was a big trust fall for me to be able to do that. And still, even now, like, I don't, that emptiness, that feeling of emptiness, like, it's biochemical and physical as much as it is spiritual. And there's always things in life that make us, not make us, but there are times in life that challenge that feeling of fullness that we are capable of having, that feeling of connectedness that we have with other people and with ourselves. And, I recently went through a hard time this past winter, the last few months, where I super buckled down on my amino and fatty acids. I recently talked about how like I went on a huge liver kick, and I started eating a ton of liver, and my body's going through some other sensitivities. So it was really challenging for me to navigate through that physical side, but it's always, of course, always spiritual in the same way. And so I've been going through a lot of meditations, a lot of sitting still, because I haven't been able to push my body as much. Like, I've always escaped and worked through things through movement. I've always worked through what I've felt through movement, because movement has always made me feel better. But during this past time period, my body has said, Rachel, you've moved enough. It is time to just sit still and feel what you feel and really slow down. So this is like the first time in my life where I, haven't been moving as much, and it's been so weird for me. It's been such a trust fall to let go of that and to continue eating the same foods that I know is going to help me get through that period of time. And while I was sitting in my meditation about an hour ago, I just kind of started to cry because, getting past that point of disconnect and feeling more grounded and centered is such a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing to be able to look back and to say that, you made it through that time period. It's beautiful, So it's like, I know some of you may be going through, I talk a lot about mental health on this channel, and like that feeling of emptiness. Like, I have been there. I've been through some dark times, and a lot of people will ask me now, like, do you ever get sad, or you're always happy? I think that it took me an incredible amount of darkness to be able to find like a little flame of light, and to be able to hold on and work through that. And, I don't know, it just is one day at a time. When you're dealing with your mental health, it's spiritual and physical. Like, getting in the sunlight, I always say depression doesn't like sunlight. When you're going out to the sunlight, you are changing your biochemistry. Your physical is connected with your spiritual. It does help you to feel better. People know exercise helps you to feel better. But sometimes, like I said, I just went through a period in my life where I wasn't able to move how I've always moved before. I've had to sit still, and learning about meditation, knowing about that, and also just knowing deep down that like our food is medicine. Our food is light. It builds our body. Like, I told one of my friends, I made her a hamburger one time, ground beef pate. And I said, this means a lot to me. This means a lot for me to give this to you, because it might just look like a ground beef patty, but for me, this turns into your body. It turns into your cells. Like, this gives you energy. It gives you light. It means so much to me to be able to make this food for you, because I know how powerful our food is. Our food is medicine. It is light. And so if you are someone who's struggling in your own darkness, which it's a winter season is winter for a reason. We're meant to go in and be still and experience the coldness outside as much as we experience it inside. It's a beautiful time period. But our amino and our fatty acids, they are code for light. You know, it's built into our body. We are light. You know, our mitochondria are light. I talk about mitochondria all the time. They're so beautiful. But when they're bumping and radiating, they emit infrared light. They emit light. You know, so it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And all I can sit here and say is that whatever you're going through, you're going to make it out on the other side. Just remember how important your food choices are. And, you know, it's more so about timing. A lot of people like myself, like I was addicted to like Ben & Jerry's ice cream, right? I was addicted to like fast food like Cane's, and I have been there. I feel you in my heart, how challenging it is to be stuck and to want to escape through external means. So if you're watching this, I send my love to you. Make sure you prioritize your breakfast. Prioritize the sunlight if you're feeling some type of way. And meditation can be really powerful. Just slowing your breathing rate down and picturing your actual anatomy. Like if you have trouble with just like meditating, look up a picture of what your skeleton looks like. Like I don't have my pictures here. Perhaps in the next video I'll bring some forward. But actually knowing with what your anatomy looks like, what your skeleton looks like, what your brain, the base of your brain, the midbrain too, you can picture your breath going up and going down from your brain into your body. And it's super important. Like visualization is so helpful. It's so helpful to picture that your brain is connected and sending out waves of energy throughout your body, you know, because your mind is so powerful. Our thoughts are so powerful, you know. Our thoughts become our hormones, and that is our biochemistry. So anyway, if you found this helpful, I do hope that you found this helpful in some way. I send you all my love. If you want to support the channel, you can like, share, or subscribe. You can send it to your family and your grandparents. And until next time, I do wish you all the luck in the world.